Dan, could you tell us a little bit about your best practices of improving conversions from SQL to Close One?
Yeah, so the first one we look at quite heavily is multithreading. So we found in our data analysis that we find that the more contacts you engage throughout the buying process, the higher our win rate is in the new business deals. So that goes from under 10% when it's just one contact engaged to about 45% when it's 5 or more. It's been suggested that that's a self-fulfilling prophecy because at higher segments, so our enterprise segment, we have a higher win rate anyway. And in those, we have more people to engage with. But we find that correlation holds true regardless of segment or region. In an ideal world, the way we'd like to report on it is by stage. So we see if at a certain stage in the cycle, the number of contacts leads to a higher conversion rate and a higher win rate. But as of right now, the functionality doesn't exist on Gone, so we can't report on that.
Full in good time.
Full in good time. Is there anything you've done on the marketing side to help with the multi-threading campaign?
Yeah, actually, just last year, one of the things that we started working closely with the account management team, and what we did was to support them with a bunch of outreach sequences so that they could actually multi-thread into their existing accounts to try and expand them. So we built these outreach sequences based on persona and geography. And so certain things like whether they are in sales and they're looking to expand the account in the US, they would be targeting sales. We have various different plays. And ultimately, that proved quite successful. And I think there's a couple of deals that have come from it. Could you tell me a little bit about the analysis that you've done on the trial process and how that impacts SQL to Closed One?
Yeah, we've done a lot of analysis on the trial process, and we've found that giving prospects access to the platform pre-Closed One during the new business cycle means they're more likely to win. So last year alone, we had a 27% win rate from SQO when they had a trial, and just 10% when they didn't have a trial. Not only that, but when those prospects ultimately become customers, they have a higher retention rate, and we've also found they have a higher health score, which we track using our internal avidity metric, which looks at all of our usage stats and spits out one health score at the end.
Okay, thanks. That's really insightful. I guess that validates why we're actually pushing for the trial process. One of the things we've done from a customer marketing side is to support the account executive with a sales log cadence that would accompany the user throughout their trial. And within that, we've actually built a trial pack, which it contains all the relevant information that they would need, all the workflows that they can try out, a lot of the great content that we have in our onboarding packs as well. So they have everything that they need in one place and are hoping to have a successful client.
So we've developed an internal RevOps usage score called the avidity score. It's a combination of a variety of metrics, for example, percentage of license signed, credits used, and integration, etc. We found that the avidity score across the customer lifecycle is directly correlated with churn, meaning we can benchmark figures across the journey to determine of our current customer account base, which are most likely at risk and most likely going to churn at the end of their contract.
So your insights and analysis have essentially created the foundation for a lot of the plays that we have created in collaboration with our customer success team. So we kind of looked at that whole Avid framework and looking at usage and certain metrics like the actual sort of login rate. We actually noticed certain things like a lot of customers weren't even logging in for the first time. And so we built the plays that are now automated within our customer success platform that encourage that first login experience and then arm them with everything that they need afterwards to kind of start finding the data that they need. And some of the other plays that we looked at was also the Chrome extension. We saw that, and there's a heavier usage of the Chrome extension in bigger accounts. And so we created some strategic plays to push the usage and the adoption of the Chrome extension to those accounts, to users that weren't actually using it, as well as for smaller accounts whereby they were mostly using the web app and not necessarily using the Chrome extension for individual prospecting. And so what we really wanted to do is, encourage them to use it, and we've seen some high conversion rates on those plays, which they're clearly working, which is great to see. Do you have any systems or frameworks in place to predict whether a customer could churn?
Yeah, so the one we use at the moment is the at-risk case system. Every CSM on an account is able to open an at-risk case. So in that case, we have the reason at risk and a potential action plan. And that action plan is worked through, defined first by the CSM, the account manager on the account, and essentially management that are involved. And then the action plan is worked through subsequently over the coming weeks. How would you go about looking to increase expansion from a customer marketing perspective?
Yeah, a couple of different ways actually. So just this year, we built an ABM campaign in collaboration with our account management team. And what we did is we built a persona-based campaign and asked our account management team to give us a list of all the key target accounts that they wanted to target and how they saw that expansion opportunity coming up. So whether that was cross-selling into the marketing team or revenue operations, or even from a geographical standpoint. And ultimately, they sourced the contacts from Cognism, and we built some nurture campaigns around each persona and basically ran the target list through that campaign. We also built another campaign in line with a recent product launch. So we basically released Cognism Enrich, and we designed a campaign around that again is persona-based. We looked at crafting all the value that it brings to marketers and all the value that it can bring to revenue operations teams. And we put that out there to a very targeted list of customers that are using Salesforce in the hopes that this would spark a conversation for the account managers to have and hopefully increase the account and sell Enrich to them. And then, as you know, we were working on a competitor campaign together. So the data that you provided us for that was very useful because it gave us a target list as to which of the customer accounts that are potentially using competitors alongside Cognism. And we built two separate messaging to target customers that are actual users, as well as contact within those customer accounts that aren't actually Cognism users yet, with the ability to kind of try Cognism for free.